Anjing, gua ngomong dari tadi nggak ada suara, cok. Kayak ngomong sendiri gitu jadinya.
Now this is fancy. The opera at the Quez. What a looks like there's a lot of.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
Aduh.
I don't know why you always. I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Gimana sih cara pause ini sebentar ya? Sorry ya kalau berhenti kan dipanggil.
No, Paimon didn't say. Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the.
Sambil baca questnya. Dan kalau yang penting ya, kan bahas-bahas di Genshin itu sebenarnya seru sih. Lagi sama ngomong.
There are a lot of people here right now.
Tapi kadang-kadang di Fontaine ini kayak ada pakaian-pakaian yang bukan dari Fontaine ya di sini.
When do you cry, Paimon? Wait, what? Just answer me. When do you... when Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense... Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Luce... So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears. So, what did the voice say? Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Lenny.
Tapi di ini tadi kan aku ngapus chipnya tuh. Tadi first close terus. Serahkan Higel ke untuk bertolong.
Time to go.
Ya. Serahkan Higel itu kemana? Kemana? Kan juga.
Time to go.
Ganti. Coba kita lihat. Ya udah 91, lupa gua juga. Nggak pernah nuker. Udah lama nggak nuker, kan nggak pernah nuker. Nuker sih. Nggak ada yang penting-penting amat, udah lama sih nggak dimainin akun yang ini semenjak akun ini tuh hilang kan ya, jadi kayak terbengkalai, kayak baru-baru main gitu, jadi ya coba kalau nggak hilang ya gitu ya, nggak bakal nggak mainin gitu.
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the...
But you're actually right on time. The audience.
Gue penasaran aja sama ini apa namanya
The opera house has a
kualitas
sign
video
seat, so you
sekarang.
always have to make
Mungkin
reservations.
kalau
I've already reserved your seats, and
ini menurut 720 ya, karena dari ngeliat ini 200-300 kilobyte doang. Mungkin 720 tahu. Tapi biasanya kalau 720, oh ya ding itu untuk
Hey, Lenny,
nonton ya.
could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me.
Yeah, we'll just go to our
Ini
seats.
juga asisten dia sih. Tadi kan biasanya di tempat-tempat kayak gini, di dalam ruangan sebagainya gitu, ada wow nyambung tuh. Tapi tadi di story-nya tetap di depan.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come.
Dapat paling depan coy. Neofelit apa gak tau gue bacanya.
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still, it's kind of awkward if we don't say anything. You little...
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh,
Keren ya dia.
so, wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my...
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny
Rendah hati
then?
juga lagi.
Oh, this is getting more awkward. Nice to meet you. Paimon's Paimon, and this is the traveler. We just arrived in Vaudain.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see.
Gile.
So,
Ah, Mr. Linney.
Wait.
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems... Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty.
Whoa!
Kenapa nggak free
sorry
ya?
for
Atau
being so
Keller
rude
dia
just-
kan
No
kedudukannya
offense
lebih
taken.
tinggi gitu.
Being Chief Justice
Ini
is merely
sebelum
what I do for work.
rilis ini
And
kan
by the way,
dibilang si
there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Lina.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Kedudukannya si Farina itu untuk hakim juga ya, hakim agung juga ya.
Yay! The show's finally about to start!
Tapi ternyata pas rilis bukan dia. Ya. Tapi unik juga sih si Farina ini.
Oh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give...
Hello, everyone.
Coba
I
ya.
know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that...
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have no... Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what.
Now,
Jam
without
1 ya.
further ado, let the show begin. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the... A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Jadi semenjak gua main di akun yang ini pertama kalinya gua ngelampauin quest yang sebelumnya, tapi cuman akun quest ya, yang lainnya side quest, full quest yang lain, puzzle segala macam ya masih kalah segalanya ya, walaupun udah berbulan-bulan sejak hilang kan. Tapi kan ini kan gua ngerjainnya tuh beratnya yang dulu itu sempat stuck kan, karena update Genshin itu sekitar berat 2 minggu apa 4 minggu sekali ya bulan kan. Nah sedangkan gua main yang ini tuh kayak udah semua gitu loh, udah sampai sejauh ini gitu loh maksudnya sih. Kalau ngomong sambil ini nggak fokus, jadi cakep ya. Gue main lagi karena mau nungguin skirt gitu lah, bagus banget, jadi biru-biru ya.
Oh no, I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Bugil.
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Jarang-jarang ya kita bisa dengar suara traveler. Lucu loh Furina nih. Jadi pengen gacha. Sebenarnya kalau gue gacha 10 kali draw juga dapat sih untuk dia, tapi save lah, gue kan gratisan banget. Top up kemarin aja cuma buat ini ngikat akun biar nggak hilang lagi.
How did you do that? Colin didn't seem to it. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then...
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentional.
Guess you're right. I'm gonna...
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance.
What just happened? How did you do that? Highlight didn't seem to do anything.
Kok ngisep sih? Masa ngisep lagi? Langsung kocak. Kalau masih udah, kalau masih udah.
Kita ke belakang.
To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage rather than getting caught up trying to see that which
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that
Oke lah,
performance.
sambil lanjutkan ini juga sekalian ngapus cinta yang
But
sebenarnya.
our magical journey
Kalau
has only
cemburu ya
just
sudah
begun.
sih, biasa aja.
The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you just see. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make... So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of... Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical box. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. Now please, everyone pay very
Ini
close
kita lihat
attention to the box.
pertunjukan sulap,
Hey,
anggap aja kayak nonton lemas gitu lah.
does Lenny have actual...
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely. Now then, let's begin.
Wih, hurufnya beda ya. Kirain hurufnya kayak huruf kita.
Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations. Please
Oh,
come
ini
forward.
rencana
My
dia.
assistant will take you beside the magic box.
Oh, aku pikir
I'm sorry, it might be a
iya
little
ini
cramped
yang
inside, but no need to
malingnya
feel
tuh kayaknya.
nervous. You don't need to do anything, but no
Dia emang
matter
pinter
what
ya ngambil
who knows
ini
where you might end up.
momen.
You might even find yourself in the fortress. Oh, all right. Before I enter the magic box, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be oh, and no tricks now.
Ooh, Paimon kind of wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't. Come on, repeat after me.
60, 51,
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you.
54, 53, 52. Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not
Ini
worry
kenapa
about
ya?
me. Just enjoy the show.
Keren banget orang ini.
Alright.
Gua kalau punya banyak temen gue gacor nih.
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything...
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double checking the directions. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. Not sure. Anyway, this... 25! 24! 23!
Kenapa yang nonton jadi
What's
4
wrong,
cowok?
Mr. Linney?
Tumben.
I seem to have accidentally
Salah
knocked
pencet
over
ya?
a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
no, that's unacceptable. It seems things aren't quite... It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know
Kira
it can
salah
be
pencet
tiring
pada.
to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
Ya dong, mau ya pantengin lah
Almost
biar
there
lo
now.
dapat banyak viewer.
Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait. Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again. 7! Hey, slow down! Honestly! 5! 4!
Wih, cakep suaranya.
Oops! That doesn't count! Ta-da!
Jarang-jarang kan kita lihat dengar suaranya.
What happened?
Itu gimana maksudnya? Asisten dia kah?
Is this part of the Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then...
No need to be alarmed,
keren
you
lah.
two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Langsung ngambil keputusan kan. Belum tragedi.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of
Oh, tapi pintar juga ya dia
That's the
dapat
case that Charlotte mentioned before. I
bisa
know.
langsung
I
keputusan kayak
know
gitu.
the truth.
Apa
I
namanya bisa
say
tahu
that
apa
our
yang terjadi.
powerful magician, Mr. Linny,
Tegasnya
is
benar-benar
now the
bagus.
prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased, now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation. That can't be right. How can Linny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We could even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges. But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina's.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the
Kocak juga ya orang
right.
satunya.
I mean, you, traveler. You support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring so no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And
Kenapa nggak gelut betulan aja ya daripada ngedrama
I
begini.
understand. Charges have now been... Well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linny's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linny and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once...
a day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can...
Ya, itulah. Nggak cocok juga emang.
Sorry about everything that happened just now.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like...
Yeah, I'm a little... I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking.
Jadi
Tell
saksi
me.
dia harusnya.
Do you think I could possibly be the murderer? I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened, so I can only imagine how... I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is... I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to... Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't...
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book
Kita
says,
membaca ya. Gua membaca
the
juga.
impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. here. Don't worry. Paimon
Keren
used
ya
her own
Paimon.
savings to buy. I think they look cute on you, Paimon. You have good taste, Lynette.
Kita sambil ngefoto. Aduh,
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't good, but with the guards watching up, good thing you agreed.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating,
Oh, well, the secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence. 'Tis truly your pity. As a magician, our mad, but if revealing our secret, we should go somewhere else.
lumayan deh kita naikin jumlah jam tayang.
the investigation teams are still here.
Ya biarpun yang nonton cuma 1-2 kan, satu view aja udah berapa, udah bisa sejam. Kalau misalnya aku stream sejam, yang nonton 1 sampai akhir ya sejam juga, 2 jam.
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cal. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see. If anything, the more
Guardian ini
logical
maksudnya
explanation.
penjaga ya,
Doesn't have a motive.
diambil dari
Are
kata
you
guard
both
kan.
good friends?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've...
So in just a short time, I know there's no such thing as magic. I've seen a lot of cases. Sorry. I tend to be pretty... Anyway, you
Ke
investigate.
kamar mandi sebentar dulu. Keren juga ini. Ya kah? Apa yang harus kita cari? Keren loh.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. Simply
Oh
put,
gitu ya.
she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all.
Ini kalau
Which
misalkan
matches the features of the
jadi
previous.
pindahan
That's
bisa
how
ya.
it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women,
Okay.
no need to
Pindahan
be so.
untuk
It
kita
is of
kayak
utmost
tapi
importance that
harus
we
ada
get to the
contoh
bottom.
kasus sih sebenarnya. Tapi kita kalau pengen nyari contoh kasus kita transkripsi maksudnya contoh kasus. Duh gila, banyak banget kan yang ngehubungin gua sejamnya juga berapa. Ya malah ikutin aja. Kita cari petunjuk, kita lanjutkan. Ini ada yang apa tuh namanya? Sengaja sabotase membunuh mereka. Ini di mana cuy? Terlalu jauh nggak sih?
When he's still talking to the... I think someone will be assigned to monitor. Translator. When he's still talking to the guard, I think someone...
Kita kumpulin aja informasi.
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new...
We don't have too many thoughts yet. The thud?
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath.
That makes sense.
I'm of the opinion that when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Like, wasn't the noise we...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading... Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon, though.
Dapat satu informasi. Kita cari kemana lagi? Ini ada Kazuha yang lompat-lompat ke ini asalnya. Ini nih, ini kan barang penting juga. Terus diperiksa kenapa dia bisa pindah tapi yang itu nggak bisa pindah. Udah dapat cek ya. Dua ya. Dua. Mayatnya nih memang sih, gue pengen lihat juga sebentar lah. Nah ini dapat kayaknya petunjuk satu lagi.
Investigation team has... See?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later just... Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away.
It turns out that this... number it picked. I'm sure you already know that you... In other words...
That much?
But you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Dapat satu lagi di mana? Ntar kita coba. Tapi kok tertulis cuma satu ya? Oh, ini tali belum diperiksa. Talinya kan putus
So
ya.
this is the rope that broke. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Huh? Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
Beresin aja.
Wow. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So, wait. Diamond?
Satu lagi.
Go ahead, have a look around.
Whoever the murderer was, this rope was... People needed to register. Why would it... We all... Hey, you! Yes, both of you. Over... Huh?
Wih, Nafi apa?
You mean us?
That's right.
Terpayung.
If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those.
Well, you're right on the mark about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it. Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me Pop.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you. And I'm Merus, Demoiselle's various daily needs and
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need.
You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so.
All merely trifling details. That's right. Judging from the look of things,
Really? We think so too. But how did you come to that?
intuition, naturally. My Marina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way for...
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydroarch.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute.
Well, I say it does. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial?
Well,
And why would that be? See, Silver and Maloose? I told you that...
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the travelers, no matter how wonderful, and if that can be done, boss, then
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Now,
wait. That's what...
mhm.
That's more like it.
far be it from me to... You wish to save us?
Gila ini banget questnya.
What about you over there?
Saya masih
What do you think? You seem like...
I have nothing to...
Oh,
mikirin
We'll be making some
akun quest
preparations
dulu yang
first.
paling atas ini, terus baru akun quest yang bawah, baru yang set quest, tapi mulai dari homestead ya tentunya. Satu dia yang paling gampang, kedua yang paling singkat. Oh, dia bisa listanya ya, Tristan Octa-core. Bisa hewan-hewannya dia bisa jadi.
sorry,
Yeah.
but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity. No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt. How can you be? Well, because I couldn't see. But still, we Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's
Gue
safe to
nyicil
say that...
quest ini sebenarnya, tapi
Alright, thank you for your help.
banget.
This'll...
Mau berapa bulan gue nge-quest ngejar.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. My mom wonders how Linny's discussion with the guard...
Kita bisa pindah kah? Gue pengen kita di mana, coy? Oh, melempar koin ke air mancur, kita di sini ya. Ya benar, opera. Tunjukkan.
Things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry. And these are my
Masih ini belum
companions.
rilis ya.
Would you mind if they join as well?
Nah, gue pengen tahu.
Oh,
skill
no.
dia
Well,
sama.
let's just say we're tagging along.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specific. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all the...
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the...
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you
Ada
get?
ruangan kecil gitu ya.
Exactly.
Diajarin sulap sama Lini.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic...
I knew you'd figure out. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances. See this flat? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box... I see.
Precisely. So that's... Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy. The audience member would only be able...
Right.
Ah, yes. My assistant and...
And what about I was in the mezzanine?
Oh,
That's how we were able to coordinate Lenny.
I mean, we are twin, and that's my fix.
so that's how it all worked. Wow.
Lynette would briefly, and then I... But as you saw, Cal was in the box.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick. Could we have a look around?
This is the scene of the crime. So Lenny and Lynette are not
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Dapat trik sulap. Woi, semua sisanya udah kebuka ya. Ini bisa quest ini kita coba ngambil ini dulu. Nah, satu lagi cari petunjuk di bawah. Nah, kita tes ya.
What's it? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all...
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
But whatever it is, let's...
Oh, banyak sekali.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chose. Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that? Ugh.
Kayak orang mau kelaparan ya. Bajunya diambil. Dah kepencet pula. Oke, periksa paspungnya. Pas pecah.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip it and here's a broken vase.
That can't be. The trolley moves along track.
Harusnya kalau itu yang cewek itu diisi lainnya ngeliat juga dong. Ngeliat juga dong ada perempuan yang ikut naik. Enggak.
Whoever the murderer was, I doesn't get this. Taking place.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have...
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that... Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Nomor 1 ya.
Yes, let's head back up.
Mungkin training dapat A sama sign signature weapon, tapi kan kayaknya nggak mungkin deh ya kalau ngincar sign-nya doang.
Well, we've asked her. Let's find a place to sort out our
Sign-nya
findings
itu
once
kan
the
kalau
list is...
misalkan kita nggak dapat rugi, kita harus
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
3 kali sih, 3 kali.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal list?
They believe the guards have checked the area carefully.
Udah dapet.
Tunnels become like a secret...
Jadi anggap aja 6 kali 3 180.
In other words, the
10 kali 3.
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the opera house. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the... To put it simply,
this also precludes any kind.
once both sides have then find... Huh?
In practice, there are. Because we've.
They're concerned that we... And even if that...
I'm ready to break it.
Whoa, whoa!
Of course. I just hope.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together. I mean, what better way to prop...
Huh. Breaking out suddenly. Just kidding! Just kidding! What?
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks.
Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come.
Gue nggak sempet baca tadi, gue skip.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with...
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her. I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was... From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff, but you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
I was applauding. And I was giving encouraging...
Paimon was just thinking.
Keren ya,
Don't
Mafia.
underestimate. Anyway,
Give the only...
well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is demoiselle's favorite. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I...
All right, then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel... However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also... The magician twins could have...
Exactly! Why would they do
The flower vase resulting in the... Perhaps the criminal thought that since...
Wow, ada lagi. Ternyata 1, 2, 3, 4 dong. Lumayan banyak juga ya.
Paimon thinks that makes...
True, but...
Could Halsey...
That's right. And even if she had... Nor does she have any motive.
From the sound of your macaron...
They are my specialty after all.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. On it!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less...
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by
Iya,
mistake.
iya, ya.
Luce, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh?
Make
making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and all.
Well, this really...
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're... It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during...
All right. Thanks for your...
It was
Ito
nothing.
mga
A small task for the
yeah.
Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to... I'll be back if I find...
Yeah, all right. It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
Coba ya sampai jam 8 sampai 10. Tadi gua udah ngekos tuh lumayan banyak. Dan gua kan agak-agak capek gitu ya. Jadi kadang ada urusan, ada kerjaan gitu.
The whole situation is so confusing. Possible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or
Kita ada
another.
nyampe mana ya?
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened.
Thanks, Navia. Well,
Best of luck to you.
Dewanya aneh ya.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your...
to be honest, you might be...
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing... Now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that you're... That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Itu
Since
ditampar
both
aja paling
parties are
menang.
present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began.
Yes, that...
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the
Ini nggak tahu
finale.
apa-apa tapi kayak menyalahkan itu.
Anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not...
I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No
Hard
wonder
ingat.
he did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an act.
Tapi gue baca juga makin berat dong.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that one. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script of... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. Oh, good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is
Begadang.
really paying.
Hey, Winnie, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to reestablish the facts.
Lady first, when the thud
Was heard in the Opera House. You were neither in the box nor the tunnel.
are these claims true?
Please answer my question, Mr.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as...
The defendant deceived their own attorneys.
Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense, even after... In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy...
Keren ya. Ternyata Fatui dia. Kira asli sini loh.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would take all that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon just knew where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the words is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would seem right. So, you met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal.
Sorry. Please.
Well, you both said right.
Of course. We've been trying to... During our investigation... From that moment on, Lynette...
Is that why you needed a home?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take... So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel, specifically to...
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone... Which should have been a... That voice seemed to wreck... On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground. But the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to get... After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way.
So, there you have it. It was never my wish to but like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a
The
chance.
current problem is that if we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight... Huh?
Nah, dapat lagi. Tinggal 2 kayaknya ya. Oke, Cuk. Tadi telat ya.
Both parties have returned to their positions. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina
That took long enough. Now then, if at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lenny's perspective.
Jadi gimana sih ini?
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an He did not realize that the sound could be heard. But finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent others from... At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, so Linny proceeded to knock him out afterward.
Ini gue nggak terlalu membacanya ya, Mas.
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what...
Does the defendant's side have any
Key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
Yang ngawur aja ngomong. Semua sih. Nggak sebingung itu, men. Wah, ini bener ya.
left via... Lenny went to the room that contains the...
Kejadiannya sih udah tahu ya kita.
Lenny did not... Attention! When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed. But he immediately used a vent to act... Once he reached that area, the crime scene, finally, he reached the surface. And that was when the accident happened.
Cok, baterai gua udah low. Dikit lagi ya.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident? That's right! My reasoning? If that's the case, then if Carol hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the... Assuming that what you... That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. Oh, no, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back... Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? What? You're saying that he wasn't? That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had the same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best... Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Iya, ada iter, bukannya pakai alumin ya.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able... Halsey is the missing person and an Could there have been a third person involved?
Keliru, Cok.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper... That can't be right. Is that so? How? What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did and how he
Matiin
went
sih,
from
suaranya
would-be
gue kecilin.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The priest's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent.
Salah.
The deceased's name... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny. No one entered or left the... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have...
Bingung gua. Kita lihat Google aja. Ini udah 4.0 ya. Gua 4.2 ini sekarang update-nya. 4.0.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard.
Oh, pilihannya 6 ya kalau di PC.
The deceased's name is Cowell. Lenny's is... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances.
Kampretnya juga.
Halsey's clothing.
Kok gue bingung ya, pening juga.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different.
Only when you help. Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has... It's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make...
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient?
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that. The sound we heard may have come from a clap. The deceased's name is Cowell. It wouldn't be tough for both people to fit into that vent. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, no one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, the vase was not broken. It would have been tough for both people to... Halsey's clothing was in the... No one entered or...
Kampret lah, gue bingung juga.
It would have been tough for both...
Nah, kok fast?
The vase was not...
I don't get it. Lynette escaped from the water. If there's...
Just a moment, please. How could a person ever be transformed into water? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions.
Even so, I trust the Traveler. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much... But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
We are still examining. He discovered several test tubes of fluid within the notebook in his backpack, the primordials, the note's contents. The notebook has many entries concerning safety. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is. And the notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a prophecy, but it's just a coincidence.
can become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go. Just try...
Order! Order!
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding guards. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is...
Of course. Thank you. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that...
Right! Like the metal hook. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods
Keren ya,
must have
Pyro
something to
manusia
do
bisa
with
berubah.
that.
The deceased's name is Cap. The rope that strung the... Now it seems like rope. The water from the primordial... Now it seems like the hook rope. The water from the primordial... And that was in the magic box. I remember there was...
It's aced in the original plan. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the... When the balloon attached to the box popped, afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the... But he encountered...
That actually links together.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny...
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully does this not clear, my dear citizens, my loyal audience.
Tuh, lama banget ini.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young, having made modifications upon him. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out. Now, am I right? We've used up all the other... Is this the end?
Oh no!
Seems I think we've all seen... I believe this is indeed... Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move... Excuse me, everyone, but I must...
Miss, I must ask you not to shout. And...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this... I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. What?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous... Come on, Linny and Nanette, give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements, but as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
Udah low ya kampret jadinya kayak gini.
And voila.
Ternyata ngefek juga kayak di laptop ya, beda dengan di PC gitu.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So, the whole thing about people dissolving...
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, then I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew...
That'll teach you to underestimate.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who...
What?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian. And I'm originally from... I heard that Linny's show was going to be a real thriller. But I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so that's how I
ini yang
make a
curi
living.
tatan.
I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught...
Hey, no wonder you look familiar.
Betul kan yang tadi maling?
That you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, you need to tell the
Membunuh
entire
nggak
story.
sengaja itu
The strange sound...
The flower these...
oh ini tali pengait yang jatuh ya. Oh bukan. Masih kayak yang tadi berarti sama aja.
Lillian was afraid...
And it's Ace Detective time on having been selected. Her panic only intent hearing the commotion. Carol, he did not know that
Bisa
they
udah mau 2 jam ya.
mistakenly believed the two broke the flower with no way of escaping.
Sama juga rekam postingan.
She knew that
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over...
at this point, all the other...
Ah, it's the wrong guy.
Now then, Lady for...
Dah.
Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events.
Dah.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list.
Dong, dong. Ini sebentar aja loh. Sumpah itu.
With some modifications to the selector to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank. Using the fireworks at the end of the he poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to set. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel. If all had gone to plan, the young woman, realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the... As for Linny, while there is much in Linny and the... This case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, how did you find...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a...
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn your
We were supposed to place blame.
Ya
Now
dah.
that your plan has fallen through, the secrets of the water have been revealed. You have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of...
Yes! I'll tell you, our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this
Kayak
business for a
narkoba
while
ya.
now, and have made decent more off it.
And now he can no longer... Such ruthlessness. I should...
An outrageous. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Buset, belum kelar ini quest. Jadi satu quest hampir 2 jam dong ya. 1 jam setengah. Setengah jamnya tadi quest yang sebelumnya dong. Udah lama banget nih.
We're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Winnie.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even, I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain lit. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of that was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one
The
who
Knave
controls
itu
the House of the Hearth?
Arlesino kan?
She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was back when our parents first died. To survive,
Lah,
I
gua
took
kirain
my sister
emaknya.
through several streets until we found a crowded. To my surprise, before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
Parah juga ya hidup.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but the answer he gave me was,
Oh no. But what if Fontaine's...
as far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relation. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person. All I saw was the moon.
So, she'd already...
That's right. Father, the Knave, the House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. And I was hesitant, but she was all...
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the house?
She has her own... She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power.
So, she believes...
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently... Today's case has
jadi
also proven that everyone at Hotel
nggak
Tours
ngelawan
orphans...
Furina ya, kita jadi penyelamat dia.
Small deeds...
Kayak yang sebelumnya udah dikonfirmasi sama High Express yang katanya biar cuma di sini, tapi kok baru sadar juga gua kalau dia itu laki bukan perempuan. .0 ya ini, berarti udah sekitar 2 bulan lalu ya.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Nadia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving this. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archons.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only a... Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Oh, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing... Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take...
You don't have to...
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then. Let's...
Makan terus ya kalau misalkan ada perpisahan. Oke, gasnya udah habis. Dan gue bakal Jadi kita ambil yang terdekat aja deh. Non-stop. Mungkin udah setengah tahun ya gue nggak main game ini. Kok lama banget ya? Oh iya, teleportnya jauh. Gue pengen off dulu, mungkin malam gue pengen ngebuild
Add Astra Abyss.
kayak jadi gini tampilannya cok.
Thank you for complete.
Udah panas banget, nggak panas sih sebenarnya, tapi udah nggak kuat dia mungkin. Lagi baterainya juga baru. Kalau baterai lo kok kayak gini? Tuh lihat dia banyak kan lah, apalagi udah PT tinggi udah 80. Jadi sebelumnya makasih buat yang udah nonton, maaf karena banyak